Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn about media. The name of the chapter says Understanding Media. So the first thing that comes to my mind when I think about media is light, sound, camera and action. And that is why I have added on the slide. I am sure that if I talk about media, this must be the only thing that will strike to you as well. But not only about these things, but we are going to read about many different topics in this chapter. So what are we going to learn? Let's have a quick look about it. We're going to learn about media and technology, media and money. How are these two M's and M's related? Media and democracy. Obviously, when we are talking about civics, we have to talk about democracy. And since this chapter is about media, so we are going to explore that how are these two things related to each other. Then, what does TV, the most common and favorite thing of each and every child, television, what it does to us and what can we do with it? And then the last thing, setting agendas and local medias. Obviously, social advertisement too. Let's begin. So, what do you think when I talk about media or when I refer to this term media? Light, sound, camera and action is something that I discussed it with you, but you may have a different perception. So, what it says is that media refers to all means of communication. Like right now I am communicating to you. It is a source of media. Similarly, a phone call wherein somebody is informing me or it's just a normal chit-chat thing that I am doing is of course a part of media, and whatever I am watching on television and also if I am reading a newspaper, that is all a part of media. That's what I said, TV, radios, newspapers, everything through which I am getting some information, and sometimes there is a two-way communication. Both of them are a part of media. Now, if I just go with the verbal definition, it says that media is the plural form of medium and it describes the various ways through which we communicate. Like as we discussed just now, when this media reaches to millions of people in one go, it becomes a mass media. Like when you watch your favorite cartoon show or when your mama is watching her favorite daily soap. It's just not your mama who is watching. At that time, I may also be watching. Maybe your masi, your auntie, your uncle, whoever is fond of anything must be watching the same show. And it is not necessary that you all are sitting on the same sofas and in the same room and not necessarily in the same city. But when I talk about mass media, obviously a question must have popped in your mind. What that question is that my uncle is living in Chennai, I am living in Jaipur. How come we two can watch same TV show at the same time on the same channel? Now this is where comes the role of technology. Media has become a very important part of our life. Obviously, we cannot imagine our lives without media. I cannot imagine my life without my phone. I cannot imagine my life without my iPad or whatever devices I am using. Technology improves the coverage and the quality of media. You see, at times, like ask your father or your mother, when they were of the same age as you are, at that time, there were no LCDs, LEDs or the smart TVs, the kind of the things we have in our homes today. They used to have plasma TV sets. Do you remember the big television set that was, very big in size? Those were known as the plasma TV sets. So they were used in the earlier times. How has everything changed? That because of the technology. It also brings new forms of media such as the internet and the social networking. Not to forget the way we use Facebooks and Instagrams and Twitter, everything to communicate whatever is happening around us, and also it keeps us updated about the things that are happening around the world. What do you think? there is, when we refer about media, how many types of media are there? As it is already shown on the slide, there are two types of medias. One is electronic media, the way we are communicating right now, and the other one is a print media. Now, what is electronic media? Any medium through which anybody is communicating, but that involves the use of electricity, right? If you are using any device, you are using electricity, and that's how it becomes electronic media. So, the most common which we can refer, like radio is not used nowadays, but if I talk about 4-5 years back, even then also, and till date also, you know, there are FM channels, and if you are communicating to one person, or if you are commuting from one place to another, then we always tune into some or the other radio channels. That is a source of information and also entertainment, not for us but for many people. So, TV and radio sets are a means of electronic media. Next comes the print media. What is print media? Anything which is communicating or informing you in a printed manner. So, the moment I talk about the printed manner, the first thought that comes to anybody's mind is the newspaper. Okay, the day looks very dull and boring when we got no newspaper at our homes, right? Since it's a national holiday on 15th August and 26th January, and the next day there are no newspapers that are published. Ask your father and mother, because you kids are too young, you may not read newspapers, but ask your parents, how do they feel about that particular day when the newspaper is not there at our homes? We feel that as there is something important which is missing today. So, he's a man who is reading a newspaper and a magazine. Next topic that we are going to cover is media and money. You may not think to this extent, obviously, that when I talk about media, you think, okay, this is a way of communicating, this is a way of getting information. But money is everywhere. This I have told you in my previous sessions also, that money is everywhere. We cannot think of any action if we don't have money. So, here today, if I am talking about media, what is the relation between media and money? To run, to do its business, to operate, media needs money. Media also needs money for technology, also for the experts that it keeps, not only to operate the machines, but also for their important piece of advice. Media companies makes money from advertisements. Right? So, when you are watching a television or even movies, what happens? There are advertisements that are being displayed on the screen. Now, what do these advertisements do? Say, suppose you are watching your favorite cartoon show, and Uncle Chip's advertisement is repeatedly shown on television. What happens? Moment you see that advertisement again and again, you crave for that particular product, okay? You may go and ask your mama, okay, can you please buy Kinder Joy for me? Can you please buy a packet of chips for me? Or any other thing that is of your interest, right? That's something you can very well relate with. Similarly, sometimes these advertisements are also displayed to inform the people about the new products that are being launched by the company. Otherwise, how would you know that this is the new thing that has come into the market? How would your mama know, okay, this is the new type of washing machine or a new type of mop that has come into the market, and this is how I can go and purchase it, or I can order online, or what sort of stuff it is, right? The way any information or news is shared is sometimes biased. Now we are moving from this aspect, that what is media, how it is related with money. There is different view about media. Now, at times, okay, I am reading a newspaper, because I want to gather information about what is happening in the world, what is happening around me, because since I cannot roam around, I need a medium. While reading the newspaper, what I read depends on the way it is presented to me. So if A and B, there are two persons and there is something that has happened between both of them. The way that information is presented depends the opinion that I will frame about either A or B. Sometimes this often becomes a challenge because media companies might not report the truth about themselves or their profitable clients. This is always a challenge for us to frame our opinions nicely and also wisely. Why? Because what is being presented is what we frame our opinion on, and what is presented depends on whose side the media is. What do you think? If I am talking about money, right? So that means that there is some connection between media and money. If any influential client of that particular media has done something wrong, then that media is not going to, obviously it will share the news that has happened because that is its job. Otherwise, why will people buy that particular newspaper, or why people are going to watch that particular news channel? So it will report the incident, but it may not present the truth. Why? Because the profitable client, the client that is giving business to that particular media, does not want the media to present it that ways. And that is why whatever we are reading, we will frame our opinion. We will think, okay, this person is right and the other person is wrong. But it depends on what is being presented. So we should be very wise when we are reading the news and framing our opinion.
To watch the complete video, download the Upbind educational app from Play Store and App Store.